Greetings, boils and ghouls of Second Life. I'm Felix Lubezki, your Crypt-Keeper from the depths. I see it's time for me to tell you another spine-tingling tale, one of my vast collection of chillers which I keep here in the crypt. This story is a favorite of mine, one that I guarantee will make your blood run cold and your hair stand on end. I call it The Thing from the Sea. You are about to begin a frightful adventure concerning a luxurious ocean liner and the strange and unexplained events that will occur in Stateroom 13. You are on a crowded pier in New York trying to secure passage on the Ocean Queen, bound for England. The trip is urgent and you're pleading with the purser. But you must have one berth open. I'll take any class. Well, as a matter of fact, sir, that is, if you're not superstitious. What wonderful luck. Only one of the two berths in Stateroom 13 has been taken. You pay the purser and board the ship, and not a moment too soon, for as you reach the top of the gangplank, cast off the forward lines, make ready for departure. Last call, all's ashore that's going ashore. You watch as the dock slips away, the little tug straining and pushing the giant liner out into midstream. Then, may I take your bags and show you to the cabin, sir? Why, thank you, steward. What number stateroom do you have, sir? Why, 13. The color drains from the steward's cheeks, his eyes fill with horror as he stares at you. Why, what seems to be the trouble, steward? Oh, nothing, sir, nothing. The steward sets your bags down in your stateroom, checks the porthole to see that it's securely bolted, and then edges towards the door. There's a look of fear on his face. What is it, old man? What is there about this cabin that frightens you? I don't know. Only, no one has ever been assigned this cabin has completed his crossing in it. Someone frightens them into leaving it. Why, one passenger even went mad from what he saw here. What did they see? Tell me. The steward mumbled something about ghosts and slips from your grasp. You watch as he hurried down the corridor and then you close the door. Ghosts. Bah. He's probably playing a trick on me. Suggestion and stuff. You stow your belongings in an assigned berth and survey the cabin. It's small, with one porthole and the two berths. I wonder who has the upper. His baggage is here. He's probably on up deck saying goodbye to the good old USA. After dinner, you decide to turn in. You're tired, and the fresh sea air has made you sleepy. Oh, hello. I guess you must be my roommate. Glad to meet you. Same here. Rather small stateroom, isn't it? Had to take it. Only one left. Yes, that's why what they told me. Well, guess I'll turn in. I'm pretty tired. Me too. Glad you're here, though. The steward told me some awful yarn about this room. Oh, I wouldn't take it seriously. He's probably pulling your leg. Yes, well, good night. You don't know how long you've been asleep, only suddenly your eyes are open. Your stateroom smells strange. The peculiar smell of dampness, stale seawater. You're cold, a gush of air coming from the open porthole. Alas, the porthole's open. I better close it or risk a nasty cold. You get up and stumble to the porthole in the darkness. The bolts have been loosened and the fine spray from the sea wets your face. You slam it shut, bolting it tightly, and then from the berth above yours comes a blood-curdling cry. Ah! What the... With a single leap, your roommate springs from his berth to the floor and dashes madly towards the stateroom door. What is it? What's wrong? No! You listen to his footsteps running full speed down the corridor. Poor old boy, probably seasick. You shut the door and grope your way back to your berth. Your eyes close and you sleep again. Then during the early morning hours, you are awakened by a groan. Not a very good sailor, poor chap. Listen to him moan. Next morning, the sun streaming through the porthole awakens and you dress quickly. The curtains of the upper berth are drawn. You leave without disturbing your roommate. Probably isn't in the mood for breakfast anyway. On deck, the ship's doctor stops you. I wonder if you could tell me what happened last night. We found your roommate cowering in a passage, babbling like an idiot. What, you mean he didn't come back to the stateroom? No, we have him in the ship's hospital. He's suffering from shock. Can you tell me what he saw that might have caused it? I have no idea. Look, I have a large cabin. Why don't you bring your things over there and spend the rest of your trip with me? Oh, really, Doctor? Are you inferring that the rumors about Stateroom 13 are true? You laugh, refusing the doctor's invitation. You spend the day relaxing in your deck chair, swimming in the ship's pool, and playing canasta in the game room. After dinner, it is very late when you return to your room. Oh hum, Gad, I'm tired. That berth certainly looks inviting. You check the porthole to see that it's securely bolted and then stretch out on your berth. You lay awake thinking about the agonizing scream of your roommate the night before when the porthole's open again and that smell of seawater and decay. You get up and close it, you're frightened. You distinctly remember checking it before you went to bed. You tighten the bolts with all your strength and stand there for a while staring out to sea. Suddenly, what's that? A moan? Coming from the upper berth? You spring to the berth and tear the curtains apart, thrusting your hand in to discover if there's anyone there. That smell, that nauseating smell of stagnant seawater and you take hold of something cold, wet, icy cold, something like a man's arm. And as you pull, the creature hurls itself from the berth, a clammy, oozy mass. Keep away! Keep away! In an instant, the horrible monstrosity has started out of the stateroom door. Good Lord, so that's what it is. I'll follow it. You chase a dark shadow through the dimly lit passage and up to the companionway. Blasted thing, it's getting away. You watch as it seems to go over the rail and into the sea. I must be dreaming. That cursed meal tonight. It didn't agree with me. You cannot return to that horrible room, so you walk the deck, finally curling up in a deck chair under a steamer blanket to sleep a dreamless sleep. Morning sun blinds you as you are shaken awake. Oh, it is you, Captain. I went to your stateroom. You weren't there. Is anything wrong? Well, frankly, Captain, there is. Something very horrible happened in my stateroom last night. It might have been my imagination, but why don't you let me fix you up in my officer's quarters for the remainder of the trip? Look here, Captain. Can't we get to the bottom of this? There must be a logical explanation. You're right, sir. Only what can I do? I'm inclined to board up the room. That will solve nothing. Perhaps it is only a stowaway trying to frighten people out of that stateroom so that he can spend the remainder of the trip in comfort. A maniac, perhaps. A thought has never occurred to me. You may be right. I'll tell you what. Tonight I will stand watch with you. If he shows his face, we'll be able to overpower him together. Good, Captain. I'm glad you are taking a more realistic attitude than your superstitious crew. You're relieved that you will not have to spend another night alone in that cursed stateroom. Together with the captain, tonight you will solve this baffling problem. See you then at about 10. Yes, stateroom 13. Your day is spent anxiously, and towards evening you find yourself becoming nervous. Finally, it is 10 o'clock, and you make your way down to the stateroom. Ah, Captain, right on time, I see. Let's go in. You check the porthole, you and the captain, and make sure that it is tightly bolted. I'll sit here on the berth. Why don't you sit there on my valise? Good now. Shall we turn out the light? The room is dark. Only the hum of the engine is heard, far below, and the muffled roar of the sea outside. Suddenly, you rush to the porthole and slam it shut. Some strange force seems to resist you. Here we go, Captain. Things are beginning to pop. You spin around, the horrible creature of last night, raising at a top berth. The captain is shrinking back. That's it. Let's get it, Captain. No, it can't be you. You're dead. I murdered you. I killed you right there in that berth. Pushed you out that porthole into the sea. You can't. Horrified, you watch. The captain slump to the floor, white as chalk. Then, satisfied, the thing turns and hurls itself out the porthole. Good Lord! The captain is dead, literally frightened to death. And as you turn to look after the thing, you are astounded to see the porthole is closed and bolted. And that's the story, dear reader. The captain received the shock of his life, eh? Well, he should have realized you can't get away with murder, not even at sea, on your own ship. Oh, by the way, if you ever really sail the Ocean Queen, ask for stateroom 13. Tell him I sent you. Oh ho, Second Life Seekers! Still in Tales from the Crypt number 20. Tread in a search where curiosity digs a grave. What's buried at the end? Let's unearth it. The sun had already gone down behind the heavy jungle growth along both banks along the sluggish stream when Kennedy beached his flimsy boat and staggered ashore. A few hundred yards back from the swampy water's edge was a village he had never seen before. A primitive circle of weathered huts he had not known existed on this unmapped offshoot of the Orinoco River. There was a good reason why it had escaped his notice during all the time he had managed the plantation. In his 15 years in the tropics, he had never before ventured so far in the Jivaro country. Kennedy was led to a ramshackle hut belonging to a village chief. Then, hid with the manners of the people and region, he gave only passing notice to the grim-faced natives who had escorted him here from his boat. Hardly noticed the cold and the appraising eyes that watched him settle on the sand floor opposite the chief. They don't like my being here, Kennedy thought to himself as he pretended to rearrange his belt, his fingers moving unobtrusively to make certain that his revolver was in its holster. Just in case. They're on an ugly-looking bunch, and they hate my barging into the village as much as I hate being here. But there's no choice. I gotta find a clue to Jerker's whereabouts. In the language of the jungle people, Kennedy spoke, sometimes searching for words to express himself, sometimes in a surge sound. Drucker, his plantation foreman, had disappeared a week before on an inspection trip. Just vanished from sight as if swallowed up by the earth. He had come to find him and would pay anyone who knew where Drucker was. Had they seen a tall man with red hair, a man who had flame-colored mustache. One of the guides rose from behind him, and in the nearing silence, Kennedy watched him cross the hut to the door, watched the native's left foot as it passed momentarily over a grass mat and moved it several inches from its former resting place. There was an object hidden under the mat, and Kennedy braced himself, wondering whether the chief and his grim-faced tribesmen realized he had seen it. Kennedy began to rise, groping for his gun, and his hand trembled on it, touched the empty holster. They knew they had watched his face when he had seen the object. And even as they began to close in on him, from all sides of the hut, Kennedy was conscious of the shrunken human head there on the floor, underneath the grass mat that had been moved. The head, with the red hair, looking so ludicrously over the shriveled skin, the head with the bushy, flame-colored mustache. The search is over. Permanently. End of the searches seals the tomb. Now a caper turns fail. A fatal caper awaits. There were 4 of them. Rich, spoiled, bored. They had all the money they wanted. They'd been everywhere and done everything. And so when someone suggested that they try the magic of the ancients, they brewed a fatal caper. It was sheer boredom that made Marilyn Ambers buy the dusty old book in the dusty old bookstore. A book on magic. How wonderful. Please do not try any of the spells in it, miss. I've heard that they actually work. Peter, do you see this? Isn't it just too ducky? Call up Jim and Winnie. This instant. Invite them over. What bosh. You don't take any stock in that junk, do you? Oh, well. Maybe it would be better than sitting around listening to somebody's poems. That night in Jim Roberts' room, the 4 got together with shouts of laughter. Maybe it took me hours to get these things. Where'd you ever dream up all this, Marilyn? Toad's tongues, a lapwing's ear, a foot of a day-old bat? Gives me creeps, but I love it. Ha-ha. We're all sick of everything. I thought that we could try some magic spells. Old spells work by Caligulestro and D. They won't work, of course, but it'll be fun to try. First the hair of a baby mouse, the nails of a dog born dead, then the wing of a baby bat, and a tip of an ear and spit of tongue, moss from a dead man's grave, pinch of dust from a mummy's case. Stir, stir, whispers words to touch the ear, Beltane, hogsbane, dog's tooth, witch's ruth. Ah, look! Oh my! Whoa, what was it? I didn't see it. Some monster man, an awful thing. Help me, Marilyn, you alright? Marilyn, answer me. Loud in the dark room, Marilyn screams, her hands beat up at something vast, unseen. Her green-tinted face writhes eerily in stark terror. Ah! Got to have light. Gotta know what happened. Look, Marilyn's shoe and stocking. Whatever it was must have ripped her right out of them. Marilyn, oh my poor dear Marilyn. Let's get out of here. Call the police. Get help from somebody. Jim, no, listen. We can get her back ourselves, old man. Relax, relax. Maybe it's just a matter of another spell or something. I don't like this. Maybe I'm a sissy or something, but there's a lot of things like this that science never explained. We'd better... Oh, Jim, darling, hush up. We have to save Marilyn ourselves. Our fault, old man. Here's a look. This looks like something, a seance to speak to the dead. This is crazy. Why did we ever start this? Listen, keep your hands steady, Jim. Stop shaking, old man. Concentrate. Concentrate on Marilyn. Peter, please come to me. It's Marilyn. She's calling to me. Oh, my heaven. Oh. Jim, give me a hand. Help me. Something hasn't got a hold of me. I can't seem to fight it off. Jim, hold me. I'm so scared. Ah! He's gone too. Only his coat sleeve ripped off. Now, I am going for the police. This has gone too far. No, not the police. I won't stay here alone, Jim. You and we can do it by a different spell. Winnie, you're crazy. Let go of me. Please, calm down. Listen to me. I won't let you go to the police. We started all this. We can finish it. But you must help me, Jim. Alright, I'll do whatever I can. Help us. Look in the book. You hear? They're calling to us from over yonder, from somewhere beyond the grave. I don't like it, but I'll go through with it. Steady now. I'm going to read the spell. By the secrets of 9, by the swords of Samek and the Sphinx chariot, by the baptism of the 4 elements and the keys of the 50 gates, I summon you, appear, bring back those you have taken. I come at your call, enchantress, I come. Yeah! You! I'll save you! Splat! Panting, sobbing, his world reeling around him, Jim Roberts stares at the gigantic thing that their spells have summoned up. Sheer horror in his eyes. It got her. Got to get help. Can't fight by myself. Too weak. Can just about reach the phone. His nerves acerbated, Jim collapses in a dead faint. He does not see the monstrous horror bend over him. He does not feel himself being lifted and carried. Jim opens his eyes to find himself reclining in a coffin, just as a gloating monster is shutting the heavy lid down on him. No, don't! With a thud, the coffin closes. He's hammering me in. I can hear the hammer hitting the nails, suffocate in here, getting harder to breathe. All right, Pete, the joke's gone far enough. He looked half dead with fear in that coffin. Let's open it up. Sure, right away. Boy, was he ever scared. Jim sure fell for all that mumbo-jumbo. Whee! I can't get it up. It's stuck. Pete, Jim will suffocate in there. Besides, we took a body out to make room for him. We gotta put it back. Come on, back to the car. We'll get some tools. You're next, mister, and you can rest assured I'm going to bury you deep. It worked out perfectly. All those scenic effects, smoke and things, but we gotta get that coffin open. Peter, hurry. I am. Good grief, I don't want anything to happen to Jim either, you know. We gotta work fast. Somebody's liable to find the dead body you took out of that coffin and carried away. Look, the coffin is gone. Ugh, don't remind me. My hands feel funny just at the thought of it. You don't suppose anyone was supposed to bury that coffin? This is horrible. Jim will be buried alive. No, we can stop that. Hurry, we have to find it. Not over here. Nobody here either. Winnie, do you see anyone digging a grave? No, I don't. But we must find Jim. We have to. Half an hour later, Caretaker, did you just bury a coffin? Dig it up. You have to dig it up. The man isn't dead. What Winnie means is a joke. You know, we gotta open that coffin. I wouldn't open that coffin for all the gold in Fort Knox. I buried him in plenty deep. That man died from leprosy. Anyone who touched the corpse will get it. That caper crashes. The fatal caper ends in a heap. Next to plot Blackfires. Backfire ignites. Kaboom! Second Life Shadows Tales from Crypt number 20 explodes with Backfire, a plan that blows up in the planner's face. Ready for the blast? Let's light it. Ever since she insisted on buying the dog, he had hated the big golden animal his wife brought into the house. As far back as he could remember, he had been afraid of dogs, even the tiny wriggling pups he saw in the pet shop windows. This monster she brought home was huge, even for a Great Dane. The savage hate he felt towards the dog she called Hamlet grew with each passing day, and the hate was matched by his awful fear. Fear which multiplied until the mere sight of the animal was enough to start the cold chills running down his spine. And what was most frightening of all was his realization that his hatred was returned by Hamlet. If he wasn't careful, well, the dog was tremendously powerful. It was all set. His wife would be away from the house for several hours. The meticulous Carrie examined the basement room he'd fixed up, the room with no means of escape. The metal tub in one corner was all set for the bath he was going to give the dog in a few minutes, Hamlet's last bath. He examined the pipes leading to the tub. With the faucets removed like this, the water, which was even at the moment splashing in, could be turned off only from the outside. And with the lock fixed this way, all he would have to do would be to slam the door, and it would be impossible to get out. The plan couldn't fail. He smiled to himself. He would unchain Hamlet from the post right outside and bring him into the room. With the door shut on his way out and the water running, he would never have to worry about that animal again. He whirled at the sound behind him, his eyes wide with terror. The door of the little room had slammed shut, and the water, there's no way to turn it all off from in here. Even standing in on tiptoes on the edge of the tub, the water reached almost to his lips. There were scarcely 6 inches left between the ceiling and the surface of the water. By tilting his head back, far back, he was able to keep the air trickling in through his nostrils, but the water was rising by the second. For the 100th time he screamed at the top of his lungs, "Help! Hamlet, help!" But the only sound he could hear in response was the onrush of water, the flood that was even now beginning to surge up to his ears, into his mouth, pounding against his tightly shut eyes. He opened his mouth for a last scream for help, and there was a bruising impact on his head striking the cement ceiling. There was no air left in the flooded room. Even the surging sound of the water had stopped. All he could hear was a thin bubbling sound, which seemed to start deep in his strangling throat. Take your medicine. Second Life. Patience. Tales from Crypt number 20. Doses out prescription. Death. With a cure. Kills. Swallow this tale if you can. Good Lord, don't look at it, Miss Bennett. It's too horrible. Perhaps it was the fact that our childhood was miserable. Our parents being poverty-stricken. Perhaps it was the fact that I, Janet Bennett, had remained unmarried and had continued to live with my brother Gregory, thereby increasing his responsibilities. Whatever the reason, Greg had shut himself off from the world to study, to better himself, his life, and mine. Greg, you must get some sleep. Leave me alone, sis. I'll be all right. His days occupied in his regular job, Greg sat up half the night poring over textbooks. I knew that such hard work, constant study would have its effect. He grew pale, his eyes clouded. Greg, you must stop driving yourself. You will become ill. I'm taking care of myself, Janet. Don't worry about me. But I could not help but worry. Greg's condition grew progressively worse. At last I could resist, and no longer. I begged Greg to let me call in our family doctor. All right. Let the old coot come over and examine me if it will make you any happier. Oh, yes, Greg. You have been looking rather bad lately. Dr. Wentworth examined Greg thoroughly, and after he had finished, he took me aside. There's nothing really wrong with him, Miss Bennet. He's working too hard. He eats hastily, reads too long, and worries. I'll give you a prescription which ought to help. Thank you, Doctor. I feel relieved. Dr. Wentworth gave me the prescription and left. Greg insisted that the prescription be filled by a chemist in the neighborhood, an old man whose shop was old, too, and old-fashioned and devoid of the glitter of the modern drugstore. As I entered the shop, "Yes, madam, what can I do for you?" "I'd like to fill the prescription." The old man took a slip of paper in his withered, bony hands and studied it for a moment. "This prescription contains a rare drug. I hope I have some of it. If not, I'll have to order it." "Well, then, will you deliver it when you have it made up?" That evening, the medicine arrived, and I saw that Greg took it before dinner. "There, does it taste bad?" "Rather tasteless. Not too bad, sis." I was careful to see that Greg took his medicine before every meal, and then, one evening, "Greg, you're not studying." I don't feel like it tonight, Janet." He began to pace the floor as if deciding what to do with himself, and then, "I think I'll go out tonight, Janet, taking a show. Don't wait up for me." "Oh, all right, Greg." I rejoiced. At last Greg had broken away for an evening of relaxation. I watched him as he sauntered down the street. I don't know what time he came in, but the next morning at breakfast his eyes gleamed. "Oh, Greg, you look so well." "And I feel it, too. I had a grand time last night. Met some old college chums." That night Greg went out again and again. The next night he was a changed man. He became a lover of pleasure, a hunter of restaurants and gay places. I was happy, and yet, although I knew not why, I was frightened. "Why do you look at me so strangely, sis? What do you see?" I don't know, Greg." The days went by, and Greg continued to take his medicine, renewing the prescription from the old chemist when it ran out one morning. "Greg, good Lord. What say you say something, sis?" His eyes followed my stare, and the little finger on his right hand, was all wrinkled and withered. It looked like it was rotting away. Greg quickly wrapped the horrible-looking digit in his handkerchief and stammered, I burned it last night. Let me bandage it for you, Greg." Horror flooded into Greg's eyes. He jumped up, drew away from my outstretched hands. No, I'll do it myself. Leave me be." "Why, Greg." That night after Greg went out, I called Dr. Wentworth, but he had gone out of town. He would not be back until morning. I sat staring out of the window, and at about midnight I was awakened by a key in the lock. "Greg, what happened to your hand?" "I cut it. Why do you pry?" I cannot describe the fear that crept in my heart as Greg snapped at me. There's a strange look in his eyes, a look I'd never seen before. "I am going to my room. Bring my breakfast tray up in the morning and leave it at the door." The next morning I followed Greg's instructions, leaving his tray. Then I rushed over to see Dr. Wentworth. "My dear, you say he still takes the stuff?" "Yes, regularly." "Well, where does he have the prescription filled?" "At the old chemist on Broome Street." Dr. Wentworth got his coat, and we hurried to the old-fashioned chemist shop. The old man greeted us, and the doctor proceeded to ask some questions. "Oh, yes, Mr. Bennet is in regularly to fill that prescription. It contains a rare drug which I'll have to order now. I only had it a long time, too." Let me see the drug you used, sir." The old man went into the back and returned with a musty canister, which he pried open for the doctor. "Oof, what is this? This is not what I prescribed." "Oh, yes, I see the label's right, but I tell you, this is not the drug." I've had it for some time, maybe a few years. I don't know what to say." The doctor took the canister, and we left. "Dr. Wentworth, I should like to know what my brother has been taking for the past month or so." "Frankly, Miss Bennet, I do not know. I shall have it analyzed, but I have a feeling that this goes beyond the realm of chemistry and medical science." That evening my brother Greg did not go out as usual. He came down from his room and announced, "I've had a little fling, but now it is over. I am going back to my books. I do not want to be disturbed. I will remain in my room. My meals will be sent up and left outside. Is that clear?" "Yes, Greg." Greg went back to his room, and the next morning when I placed his breakfast tray before the door, "Greg, breakfast." "Leave it and go." I started downstairs, and then remembered something I wanted for my bedroom. As I started back, "You're spying on me. I don't want you spying on me." "Greg, your arms, they're all bandaged." I rushed to him, but he picked up his tray and slammed his door, locking it. Oh, Greg, Greg. I went downstairs and called the doctor. Any news, doctor? I sent it off, Miss Bennett. It will be about a week before we know. When I did not see Greg for several days, I called Dr. Wentworth again, and he told him of Greg's wrinkled, rotted finger, his bandaged hand, and his bandaged arm. I haven't heard from the laboratory yet, Miss Bennett, but I think I'd better come over. Yes, doctor. Dr. Wentworth arrived and went upstairs. I heard him knock and go in. After a while, he came downstairs. There was an unutterable horror in his eyes. He gulped, steadying himself by grasping the banister. I have seen him. I have examined him, and I am in my senses. I have dealt with death all my life, but nothing like this. No. He covered his face with the hands as if to shut out a horrid sight, and then he turned. Do not send for me again, Miss Bennett. I can do nothing in this house. But doctor! The next day, as I was crossing the street in front of the house, I happened to gaze up at Greg's window. What? Oh! The blind was being drawn back, not by a hand, but by a rotted stump. A beast's paw. A shapeless, horrible, and behind it, 2 eyes of burning flame glared at me amidst something as formless and ghastly as the rotting paw. I called Dr. Wentworth as soon as I got in the house, and although at first he refused, my frightened tears finally persuaded him to come. We sat down in the sitting room. Please, doctor, you must tell me what is wrong with Greg. I'm afraid, Miss Bennett, that this whole episode is most unnatural. There are forces involved here, supernatural forces, that we today know little about. The chemist I sent the drug to was unable to analyze it. Its chemical composition was unknown to him, although the results of tests showed that it was similar in action to digestive enzymes in the human body. Your brother is being digested alive. Eek! Something wet had fallen on my hand. I looked up. The ceiling was black and dripping. That's Greg's room up there. So soon. Stay here. Dr. Wentworth grabbed his walking cane and hastened up the stairs. Ignoring his orders to remain in the sitting room, I followed. As he broke down the door, there burst forth a fearful scream. Not a human voice, but more like that of an animal. There it is in the corner. Oh, no! There, upon the floor, was a dark, putrid mass, seething, neither liquid nor solid, bubbling, and out of the mist it shone 2 burning points, like eyes. As the thing lunged for us, Dr. Wentworth, tears in his eyes, struck at it with his cane, again and again, until it lived no more. The end. The prescription's fatal. Prescription, death, insecure. Last shadow falls. Hear the knell, second life wraiths. Tales from the Crypt number 20 tolls impending doom, a shadow that claims all. Can anyone escape? Let's face the end. Love 'em, Mike. Will you look at this? Why in the world did I draw this face? I didn't even realize I was doing it. Honey, the expression is one of extreme fear. Sure strange. Must have been daydreaming. Mine is a million miles away. But why on such a lovely day would I draw such a horrified face? Oh well, no use worrying about it. Gosh, it's a swell day. Too nice a day to work. I think I'll take a walk. Sometimes later. Does a person good to get some clean fresh air, sunshine? I've walked a good 5 miles and I don't feel a bit tired. Yes, sir, nothing like the great outdoors. Nature sure is wonderful. You don't have to be an artist to appreciate it. Hey, what's that noise? Sounds like someone banging or hammering on something. Over there, a house. Alex Cordova. Gravestones. Nice, cheerful occupation. Sounds like that noise is coming from around and back. Yes, I was right. There he is, working on a gravestone. These must be samples of his work. Nice design. Making so much noise he doesn't know I'm here. Well, the man knows his stuff. He's good. What's he working on now? Let's see. Here lies Theodore J. Warren. Why, that's my name. Born April 25th, 1920. Holy smoke, I want a closer look at that gravestone. Born April 25th, 1922. Died June 9th, 1950. Hey! Good lord, this is fantastic. Your face. You're the man I drew. What's going on? Am I dreaming? Calm down, mister. Take it easy. What's the matter? A headstone. That's my name and my date of birth. What made you put my name and birth date on that thing? Your name? That's quite a coincidence. But don't worry, mister. This is just a sample I'm doing. You know, to show people what kind of work I do. Maybe so, but yeah, my date of death is June 9th, 1950. That's today. Then there's that picture I drew. There isn't anything to get excited about. I just put today's date because I'm going to finish it today. Like an artist dates his canvas when he finishes a painting. What's that you said about a picture? Here, look at this. Is this a drawing of you or isn't it? Well, I'll be darned. Sure is me. Alright. You didn't make me look any too happy, did you? There's more to this than just coincidence. I don't know what it means, but it's like an omen or something. Gosh, I'll admit it's odd, alright, but I don't believe in such a thing as fate or anything like it. Say, come on in the house. My wife would like to see this picture. Oddest thing just happened, dear. I was... Ted! What, Ellen? You two know each other? Why, yes, Mr. Cordova. Your wife and I were good friends years ago. Yes, very good friends. It's grand to see you again, Ted. You must stay for dinner. We can talk about old times. Well, Owen, I don't think I ought to intrude. I mean, nonsense. Alex would love to have you stay, wouldn't you, dear? Why, yes, of course. Do stay, Mr. Warren. After dinner. Ah, Ellen, that meal was superb. You are truly a culinary genius. I didn't know you were such a good cook. I'm happy to cook for you, Ted. You're always appreciative of my talents. Ellen, please, you're embarrassing our guest. Oh, keep quiet, you nincompoop. I don't know why I bothered to answer you. You're so stupid. Now, Ellen, let's not argue. We have company, remember? I said shut up. Why can't you be nice like Ted here for a change? Honestly, I don't know whatever possessed me to marry a fool like you. Now, see here, I've had just about all I can take. Look at you, a miserable wretch. You'll never be anything but what you are, a dumb gravestone cutter. Ted's a success. He has money. He's young, handsome, exciting. You're none of those things. I've had enough. I'm going out to my workshop. There are some things I want to do. Go ahead, run, you spineless simpleton. For all I care, you can go out and never come back. Oh, that man, he aggravates me to death. I can't stand him anymore, especially since I met you again, Teddy. Ellen, perhaps I'd better leave. No, Ted, don't go. Alex won't be back for hours, and we have to talk about old times, remember? Yes, but, there's no use kidding myself, Ellen. I am glad to see you again. You're married. Forget about Alex, Ted. Just think of you and me. It's been a long time, but you haven't forgotten, have you, Ted? You couldn't forget me. No, I haven't forgotten those nights, your kisses. I was crazy to marry Alex. I've known all along that it was you I wanted, and you wanted me too. I can see it in your eyes. It's not too late. We can still be together. Kiss me, Ted. Kiss me hard. Ellen, it's not right. Your husband. Kiss me. Ellen. Alex! Blood in his eyes. What happened? Alex Cordova just killed some guy. Caught him with Miss Cordova. Beat him to a pulp. Here lies Theodore J. Warren. Doom descends. Impending doom locks the crypt. Tales from the Crypt number 20 ends. Thanks for haunting Witches Center and Cafe. Happy Halloween. Or else.